Still waiting for that perfect golden chance? Wake up! Years have already been wasted chasing comfort zones and daily dollars. AI's not waiting for anyone. It's sprinting ahead of us, faster, smarter, and sharper. In 10 years, it'll eat our jobs, our businesses, and definitely our excuses. Transformation, disruption, domination. Education re-engineered, property tokenized, communities reinvented. This is the decade of survival, and the One Real Tech is building the blueprint. Want growth? Get in. This is the decade where the average doer vanishes, but the bold ones, they build empires. No dependency, no pity party, no constraints, just freedom to create, to own, to flex, and to live louder than ever. This isn't some sci-fi film. This is now. The new reality, human with machine, vision with ownership. If we are not part of it, we are history. The next 10 years belong to the crazy ones, the doers. Stay in comfort and stay stuck, or get up and own the future. The choice is ours.
Hey, good morning from Southwest Florida. This is Dr. Jeffrey Eberger, and that's an honorary doctorate for advocate on mental and financial well-being and leadership in life transformation. I humbly received in September of 2024. So that video just talked about the crazy ones, the doers and the go-getters, and that's what I'm all about with Holistic True Wealth. I'm very, very excited with my guest today because she is a second-time comer. And I'm exposing my brand new branding, the colors, the blues, the grays, so forth and so on. So I'm excited about that today. But we are in season 2026 of Holistic True Wealth. And before I get started, please remember to subscribe, like, and share, if you will. I'd be so humbled for you to do that. And also don't forget to enter your questions and or comments in the appropriate social media platform that you are joining us today from. And I truly, greatly appreciate that, along with my guests who people do ask questions during the interview. So this season is really, we brought together some incredible lineup of guests, which I'm very, very excited about because I'm booked out until September, into October, which is awesome. And these individuals, they're not only just talking about change, but they're actually living it. And they're sharing insights that can generally shift the direction of your life, and which is very, very exciting because I do have many feedback from people who have attended and really gotten some great value from the guests that I've had. And for me, my core, and I believe this, that every single one of us deserves to live a life of true abundance, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And as a certified holistic coach, I'm taking a finance first approach to well-being because whether we like it or not, finances are the number one stressor, and it really impacts every other areas of our lives. And that's so much true because I've lived it twice. And so I've got a lot of experience behind that aspect of it. But when we address that foundation, everything else falls into place, and it really starts to really elevate us because we come to that realization. And we're living in a time of massive, massive transformation and disruption, and a complete shift in how we actually, what we think about, what we're earning, how we're earning it, how we're living, and how we are looking at how we're going to rebuild our futures. And if you're feeling that, hey, you're not alone. But this isn't something to fear. It's actually something to step into, which is what I did initially back in 2018. And this podcast is really more about the ideas, and it's about real solutions and the paths that are working right now to help you go from just barely surviving to fully thriving. And that's what I love about my guests, because they really share so much value to the audience out there. Because true wealth isn't just about money. It's about having the freedom, the tools, and the mindset to create a life you actually want to live. And that is what my guest today is going to be bringing back to us on her second round here. And so before we go into my introduction of bringing her on board, let's take another short commercial break, and we'll be right back.
What if property wasn't just bricks and walls, but pixels and blockchain too? One Realtech takes real estate digital and puts ownership right in your hands. Fractional ownership, real assets, blockchain trust. The future of property is here. And where does it all start? It starts with One Realtech, where you will learn how blockchain and real estate come together. One ecosystem, endless opportunities. Are you ready to step inside? From Harare to Abu Dhabi and across the world, One Realtech is connecting ideas, assets, and innovation, turning vision into value, dreams into ownership. One Realtech. Own it, live it, trade it.
Okay, we are back, and as I said earlier, my guest today is no stranger to this show. Coleen Stubbs spent decades building 8 brick-and-mortar businesses from the ground up, and while homeschooling her kids and holding her family together. When grief and exhaustion finally forced her to stop, she didn't quit business. She rebuilt it online, simplified, and on her own terms from her farm. Today, she's the founder of Simplified CEO Systems, helping midlife entrepreneurs trade chaos for clarity. And she hosts her own no-fluff live show, Morning Business Foreplay. I love the name. She's back on Holistic True Wealth to talk about systems, her amazing systems, and simplicity, and what it really means to bring a business and a life that doesn't consume you. So please help me welcome back to the show, founder of Simplified CEO Systems, Coleen Stubbs.
Hello, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for having me again. It is always such a pleasure to be here with you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And before we jump into the questions, let's share for those who are seeing you actually for maybe the first time, maybe the second time, which would be awesome. Share a little bit about your background before we jump into these questions and how you're going to share these simplified CEO systems with the group today.
Sure, you bet. So I'm Coleen Stubbs. I have built 8 brick-and-mortar businesses over the past 37 years, all different niches, different kinds of businesses. I loved my businesses. The first 6, I actually did everything in my businesses myself. I thought that was the right way to do things. And what I found was that I really just ended up burned out. I did build them to profit and sold them for a profit. I would take a break and then get bored or see a solution that I felt the world needed, and I would build another brick and mortar business. Now, business 7 and 8, I built differently because I decided that I needed to rewrite the rules. I was tired of the burnout, and as much as I love business, I also love my family, and I found that I was really missing out on not the big things, not the things that are already on the calendar. I never missed those. As entrepreneurs, we're organized. We make it to birthdays, holidays, ball games, things like that. But the small moments, like when a friend needed to reach out and I just wasn't available because I was busy with work, or when one of my children experienced a hard day and they just wanted someone to talk to, I wasn't available. And so I needed to build businesses where I could be available physically during those moments and also fully present during the other moments, which means they had to be more organized. I had to really embrace simplification, automation, and delegation to build a business that works when I'm not.
Awesome. You've had, and I know you're from Southwest Florida, from the Fort Myers area, which is right next door to me down here, and you're now in the Midwest there. So that's great. And you're a wife. You are a mother. Well, you're a daughter first, then your wife, and then your mother, and you're a grandmother. So you got that whole spectrum right there. So that's amazing. And so let's dive in here. Let's start with the system behind the soul. Okay. You've said your business should run quietly in the background, and you were always in the foreground. You were always running it. You were always there. So, with that being said, running quietly in the background so you can be the voice and the soul of it, what's the first system you built with a new client or even for yourself? And why does that one come before anything else?
The first system I built was an automatic response. And the reason that it comes first is because, as with any business, if you are looking, let's say you're looking for a motel, and so you call different motels to book, who do you book with? The one that responds first, the one that answers the phone, right?
True.
And so what happens if that's going on in the middle of the night or during the middle of your child's ball game or something like that? And so that's the first thing that I built, is that automatic response, so that anytime somebody reaches out into my world, they're automatically responded to and welcomed into my world and given the information that they're seeking.
So when you say that they're automatically responded to, does that mean that it could be either a text message or an email or even a voicemail? Would that be a combination of one or the all of the above?
It could be all of the above or one of any of those.
Okay.
I love email just because that's usually the generation and the age group that I'm working with are ones that respond to their emails. So that's where I focus is email.
Okay, excellent. That's awesome. So, it blows me away because I've heard this before with you, knowing you for as long as I have, 8 storefronts to one screen. I can't even imagine running or first opening and then running 8 different storefronts. But with that, you ran 8 brick and mortar businesses, and now you live inside CRMs, workflows, and automation, which is where we are today in essence, being an ex-software engineer. What's the most surprising thing that tech turned out to teach you that retail really never did?
That's a good question. I think the span of your reach. Because in my brick and mortar businesses, they were usually in a small town. I had one down in Vegas, but all the rest were very small town. And so you're talking 10,000 or even 100,000 reach. And online, it's so much more vast. Mm-hmm. It's unlimited, your reach is.
Right. Yes.
And so, I think that's probably the biggest thing is how many people you can actually reach. And what that does is it makes it so that, like in my small town, I felt like I had to capture the attention of everybody. And it really refines that process being online. You don't have to capture the attention of everybody. As a matter of fact, you don't want to capture the attention of everybody. You can really narrow down and specialize on the people that you want to provide your concierge service to and build a relationship with them on a different level than you get to in person.
Exactly. And, we that term today is who's your perfect avatar, or your perfect client. And we remember, well, I wasn't around in the horse and buggy days, but that's where you communicated back then. And we're in a whole different world today, and which is pretty amazing. So let's jump into this, calling out the industry. And Monday Morning Business Foreplay promises no BS, no gatekeeping, and hot takes people are afraid to say out loud. Oh, I've been there before. What's one thing about the online business or coaching world you think most people need to say plainly?
Oh. The biggest thing that I think differentiates me from other people is I'm not going for the masses. I speak to so many people, even with my podcast, they're like, well, how many viewers are there going to be? Or how many people are going to be in the room? I don't know if I want to go to a webinar with only 10 people. And I am the exact opposite. And I really think, Jeffrey, that that's accumulation of all of the brick and mortar businesses I've done.
Yeah.
I realize the value in the one-on-one relationship. The perfect number for me, for say my master class, is going to be 4 to 7 people attending. In Monday Morning Business Foreplay, I would say 35 people or fewer live in the room because we want to be able to communicate and talk to them. This should serve as a foundation to building a business with people. And so my Monday Morning Business Foreplay is live. The audience is in the Zoom room with us. My guest gets to present their business, talk about their business, talk about the points they want to share their lead magnet, and then take questions. And so really being able to talk to people and see the way that they move their hands, see the way that they look at the camera, don't look at the camera, the way that they include people or don't, the way that they enunciate, all of those things are touch points that are valuable in building a relationship. And so for me, going against the grain would be jumping into smaller rooms. That is my happy spot.
Yeah, I love that because it's a more of an intimate setting from attending these big mass webinars where you don't even, they don't even see your questions in the chat box. They just go flying by, flying by, flying by. And I have to give a plug. I was able to hit one of your Monday mornings. And now, as we talked backstage, I have all my Monday mornings free from a previous conflict. So I will be hopping onto that foreplay in the morning with you again, because I like those little intimate settings, because you learn from other people as they share their insight and their struggles with regards to them either starting their business or continuing to evolve in that. So we are going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back with Miss Coleen.
Hi, many of us have realized the AI journey has officially begun. And those of us who've been exploring this shift early are realizing something important. We're not late, we're incredibly early. This technology is still in its infancy stages, yet it's already growing at an exponential rate. Here is the truth. Those who don't build even a basic foundation in artificial intelligence will be left behind as this acceleration continues. This isn't the future, it's the starting line, and we're just getting started. Do you agree with me?
So that's a question for you, Coleen. Do you agree?
I do agree. And I think that the people that are afraid to embrace AI are probably going to miss the bus, for lack of better terms. I think that even people, my generation, your generation, we never stop learning and growing. And so as we're diving into AI, learning and growing, I think the trick is to make it work for us in a way that fits us and suits us individually, and not to just allow it to take over or allow it to become the everything.
Absolutely. And I will be transparent here. When AI first came out, when it was starting to get more mainstream, I was like, nah, I don't want no part of it. So forth and so on. Just like when I left corporate America in 2015, I want nothing to do with software engineering. Well, look at where I'm at today. So it's amazing. Yeah, we keep learning, we keep growing, because those who remain stagnant, they're going to be left behind, and we need to evolve, because those individuals who have children today will be experiencing something completely different when they're in their 20s and 30s moving forward. So as we're talking, Coleen's information is down in the banner down there. So please feel free to reach out to Coleen, as well as we're going to jump into this next one, because it's the tech chaos tipping point. You're from tech chaos to control masterclass. You're talking about speaks of a very specific kind of overwhelm. And what does that chaos actually look like in real business? And what's the first sign somebody's drowning in it before they even realize it?
That's an interesting question. So let me tell you that when I am looking to see if somebody would be my potential prospect for me, I will reach out and I will wait and see if they respond. That's a really good sign, whether those leads are dropping through the crack. And it's crazy. You wouldn't believe. I've reached out to people and directly say, I love the product that you're representing, and I would love to purchase it from you, and never heard back.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I look for, because that response is huge. And if they don't have, like we talked about previously, if they don't have that first response in place,
right,
then they don't have it.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I honestly think that my little farm girl is going to come out. I think that people purchase different tools, right? Maybe they have Kajabi, maybe they have Honeybook, maybe they have Flowdesk, maybe they have Tailwinds. They have all the different tools, because as they're presented these tools, are like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. I need that in my business. And that's foremost in their mind. And the person selling them the tool is saying to them, you need this because of this. They're never saying, and it connects easily to this, and it connects easily to this, and you can connect it to this. And this is the map, like a mind map, a business map, of how it all coordinates and goes together and flows. They're not saying that. And so in essence, these entrepreneurs that are in good faith effort purchasing these tools are also needing to buy some duct tape so they can get them stuck together, because there's no clear path, right? And we're not sold on a clear path. And
That's right.
I think the weight of that burden lifting, where you're no longer wondering if everything is going to connect together, that's a huge weight that's lifted. And then the connections are made and things flow. And I sit down with each of my clients and I show them, look, this is your business map, how people come in through your system this way. And then this is going to happen in this, and they're going to go on a pipeline, and they're going to get tagged this way, and they're going to receive these invitations to interact with you. And I can show them all the way through how their business connects and continues working. And when you understand that, and then we take them and we say, okay, put your name in. You go through the step. And they receive all of the emails, all of the outreach, all of the same things. And they can also go in their back office and see it happening while seeing it on the front end.
Right.
Then they build confidence in their system and everything becomes clear.
Yeah, no, that's great. And it, looking back as an ex-software engineer, I always use that to reverse engineer. What's the outcome? And then how do I get there by reverse walking backwards to the beginning and getting there? And that's been something that I've struggled since leaving corporate America, but realized that it is inevitable. That is part of the process. And back when I got started, because there were no there were computers, but now I came into the era with personal computers, and there was only certain things back in that day that you could, get onto a path with. Today, it's 360. There's this, there's that, there's a shiny thing over here, there's a shiny thing over there. So people are just really overwhelmed. And it's all about what I've been learning is, there's a lot of shiny, stars out there. But once you selected one, stick with it and work with it, because, by jumping and jumping and jumping, you're never going to get to a good working system.
Right.
So speaking of the systems and you building from a farm, which is pretty amazing, because I've heard some of your stories of going out into the chickens and, the animals and your gardens and all that kind of stuff. While our gardens out here are dying because of the heat and the chemtrails and all that kind of stuff down here in Southwest Florida. But, you run simplified CEO systems from your farm by design. How has building a set it to serve them kind of business changed what your actual workday looks like hour to hour? And I think you kind of covered that a little bit, but be a little bit more specific, laser focus for the audience. What free time do you have in your business today that you never had before?
I love that question. And I will tell you the biggest challenge that I have in my business. Let's start with that. The biggest challenge I have in my business right now is the addiction to building businesses. And so as an entrepreneur, and if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening, then you understand this. There's always the desire to learn more, to do more, to keep expanding, to all of these things. But the truth is that a successful business can be a simplified business. I started simplifying mine by setting the boundaries that I needed to protect the relationships that mean the most to me. Now, I did that in multiple ways. One is setting my hours. I work from 5 to 2:30, 4 days a week. Now, 2:30, I'm done. And I say in the middle of my 2:30 meetings, if I take one that goes past 2:30, this has been great, but it's 2:30 and it's time for me to clock off for the day. So thank you. Please send me any notes on anything I miss out on. And I leave. I get crap for that all the time. All the time. However, the other side of my life is balance. And it gives me the time to go work out, to walk, to tend the sheep, to go work in my garden, to play with my grandkids. 2 nights a week we have play dates with grandkids. And then Thursday we have sleepovers every week. And so I don't work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have grandkids from Thursday afternoon until Saturday usually. And then Sunday I recover and just enjoy time here on the farm. But I think protecting that is huge in my business. And that's my biggest addiction and my biggest struggle is to be fiercely protective of that, to say no to the things that happen outside of those hours. Now, I do make exceptions, like being on your podcast. But my grandkids are.
That's right. Thank you.
And when they came in, I said, you need to go find Papa for a minute. So, but I also have set it so that I have a team behind me that understands if I say I'm not available right now, take over. They know exactly what to do if anything needs done. I have customer service reps that are on 24/7. I have built my life by design and my business by design so that I'm not worried about it. I don't even worry about it. And I have had people that I collaborate with go, my gosh, I blew your phone up. It was 2:59 and you weren't answering. And I'm like, you know, I'm done at 2:30. And they're like, well, yes. I'm like, okay. And so just being fiercely protective of that has been a struggle, but the most rewarding thing as well.
Sure. And I mean, you're a rare testimonial because that's something I've struggled with. Oh, I'm going to end at 3:00 or I'm going to end at 4:00 and it's 8:00 at night. I was like, oh, that was 4 hours ago or 3 hours ago, whatever. And I think that more of us need to, or not. My belief is more of us should really start looking into that and embracing that, because by the time you know it, life's gone. And what have you done? You've been behind the computer 24/7, and that's not healthy. So let's you talk about this as we wrap up here, because we're coming to the end. Simplicity tested, looking at every client that you've helped simplify their systems. What's the one thing almost everyone that you have worked with resists giving up, even though it's the thing actually holding them back?
Making things complicated would be the biggest thing. And delegating. People like to be the boss, and my generation was raised that we need to do it all ourselves. And so they like to do that, but they also feel like to be successful, that everybody that's successful in life that they see has taken this complicated course. And that's not true. It's absolutely not true. The simpler it is, the easier it is to scale. The
Perfect.
less brain width you're using, going back over, worrying about this, worrying about that, connecting this, trying to make it very intricate, it's not necessary. People want real, they want relationships, and simple gets you there.
Right. Awesome. Great little nuggets there. So as we are wrapping up here, down there in the scrolling banner is Coleen's information on LinkedIn. Reach out to her and ask your questions. What are you having problems with in your business? What do you want to automate? What'll help you clear up a couple of hours a day, or even start out with a week. Start out with 5 hours a week and then build from there. So with that, I talked about, or my commercials really talked about this. The crazy ones out there, and those go-getters, and those people who are pivoting, and that's what this industry is really bringing today, because we are in a paradigm shift, and things are changing so rapidly at the light of speed is what it's really looking at more and more these days. Since leaving software engineering, I had a conversation the other day with somebody about my days as a software engineer, and it's completely different. But, it's about embracing those changes, and really that will help you from a personal and a professional perspective moving forward with regards to all that is changing. The medical systems, the financial systems, the engineering systems, and there are a lot of opportunities out there, paradigm shifts with your portfolio investments, so forth and so on. And I do webinars and this is an automated webinar. You'll go and you can watch it at your will, about teaching people about real tech, fintech, edtech, AI, metaverse. These are the different types of technologies that are changing the world today. And think back decades ago when Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon came on to the picture with their introductions of their technologies, and it was revolutionary. Well, where are they today? They're industry giants, and some of them are backing us with some of the projects that I'm already involved with. So if you're open to getting some information, scan the QR code, get that information, and then at the end of that webinar, you'll get another QR code to set up a call with me. Call me with questions and answers, and because that's what it's all about. It's about getting those questions answered and being able to make a decision if you want to move forward with implementing some changes in your life, just like Coleen is helping people with their businesses, which is so important. And I want to thank Coleen for coming again. Her second time here. We had to go to part 2. I said we got to go to part 2 from the last time. So because she provides so much value to our audiences, to my audience and hers as well. So with that, thank you again. We're coming up. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I'm heading up north in an RV, and I'm going to be up in a family lakefront cottage situation for about a week and a half. So I'm looking forward to that long overdue vacation. It was great to see you all here. Thank you so much, and we'll see you the next time.
Hi, it's Jeff, your digital currency strategist. What if technology wasn't just something you used, but something you experienced? Welcome to the world of real tech, fintech, edtech, AI, and the metaverse, designed with intention. We're building 5 digital continents, each with its own unique user experience. 2 are already live and the others are coming soon. This isn't hype. This is infrastructure, your education or ownership. Stay tuned because I'll be taking you inside Meta, One ILM Versity, and our Zanzibar Hotel and Resorts property where innovation meets real-world impact. The future isn't coming. It's being built right now. Won't you join us?
What if property wasn't just bricks and walls, but pixels and blockchain too? One Realtech takes real estate digital and puts ownership right in your hands. Fractional ownership, real assets, blockchain trust. The future of property is here. And where does it all start? It starts with One Realtech, where you will learn how blockchain and real estate come together. One ecosystem, endless opportunities. Are you ready to step inside? From Harare to Abu Dhabi, and across the world, One Realtech is connecting ideas, assets, and innovation, turning vision into value, dreams into ownership. One Realtech. Own it, live it, trade it.